when the world must come together as one. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who make it better again. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we make a better day, just you and me. We're down now, this is the world at all. But we just believe it's not where we can fall. It's mine. Who cares about that? I love mine. Who cares about that? I And now, the breakdown. Campers and jet skis, rings, diamonds and G's, long days and vacations. I can't describe all the feelings. Back to life, back to reality, back to life, back to.
In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what we call the Realities Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the gatekeeper, the host of this program, known here on social media. Wherever you may find me, I am known as the mighty, mighty, mighty Angel Snub Nub 7. I am your soul brother, number one. Thank you so much for joining us this New Year's 2025 evening. It is always a wonderful time. It is an honor that you would give us a few moments of your time, that you would listen to what we have to say. I am very, very much appreciated. Even if we never talk again, I am so much in your debt. I am so much appreciated that you would join us on this New Year's Day. I am so much appreciated that you would join us on this New Year's Day. Okay, I got some back. I wonder where that's coming from. Where's that coming from? I heard some back noise somewhere. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Okay, seems to be gone. All right. Joining me for this discussion tonight is our seemed like very long-term soul brother. Been around for a long time, you know. We done seen him come and go. Brother still hanging with us. I don't know why you want to hang with me, man. I don't know, but Brother Talib is in the house. Eric Bell, aka Soul Brother Talib, is in the house with us for this topic tonight. And I would like to just greet him as he joins us on this panel this New Year's Day. Shout out right. Can you hear us, Brother Talib?
Yes.
Shout out right. Okay. Can you hear us, Brother All right. Talib?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, I don't know why that's doing that. Are you on a computer or something, Brother Talib?
I'm on my phone.
Yeah, you're on your phone. I don't know why it's having I keep hearing that back. Do you hear that back? After I talk, you hear me keep talking? That back?
No.
You don't hear it?
No. Mm-mm.
Well, it's not there. We're gonna work. We can work with that. If it just comes in and out, that's cool. We can work with that. Okay, so I kick this off. Our topic tonight.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
I gotta go to do something, but I'm here.
Okay, all right. Our topic tonight, to begin the new year, we have chosen. We want black unity and power. This lie continues this year. It continues on and on. It's a lie. And we want to talk about it's a lie. The reality is these are not interested in unity or power. Because if you don't want, you're not going to get the power unless you unify. So apparently, they don't want none of it. They don't want black power, and they don't want. I mean, it's just talk. That's the topic to start off the new year. We don't want black power or unity. We begin this year, many of us, with Happy New Year. I don't know why we do this. When this year is nothing but a continuation of the last block of time, where in the beginning of that year, 2024, we said Happy New Year as we began 2024. Many of us, Happy New Year. It's enough of us saying Happy New Year that we should have caused happiness. But 2024 wasn't a very happy year. In fact, it was a very disappointing year, especially for those who were the supporters of the Democratic Party. It was not a very happy year, a very heated election cycle. And of course, as you know, Donald Trump became the victor. But when we say Happy New Year, we should be wanting to make activity and actions, and our behaviors should be relegated to making that year happy. We said Happy New Year for 2023, 2022, and the list goes on and on. What was so happy? What did we do? We said Happy New Year. What did we do to make that year happy? Not very much. It's just idle words. We just do things just for the hell of it. So I cannot say Happy New Year, even though I will do whatever in my power to try to make the year as happy. But I don't have to say it. Actions speak louder than words. So I can say in the beginning of 2026, 2025, I did take action to try to make 2025 a Happy New Year. We need to stop lying. We love lies. We love this feel-good stuff. But then I'm not shocked because we've been raised in lies and fantasy and falsehood and fakery, where those who keep it real, we are ostracized and looked and frowned upon because our talk destroys the fantasy, destroys the feel-good stuff. And see, you are an adult. And we feed these lies of Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy. And then when we get older, then we embrace the other fairy tales, the God and the demons and the spirits and the spooks. We love lies. They make us feel good. But then these same self-righteous people would turn around and talk about a crackhead and a drunk who use alcohol and drugs to enter their fantasy world. Oh, that's wrong. You shouldn't do crack. You shouldn't drink that alcohol. But you do the same thing without a bottle, without going through the drug cartel. You get drunk off religion and spirituality and all these pseudo black scholarship stuff. And that's all right to get high and drunk off of that. But when somebody looks at and seeks alcohol and drugs, oh, that's a problem. You shouldn't do that. There's no difference between you and them. They get drunk off physical substance and you get drunk off mental. They both affect the brain. They both have the same effect on the brain. The drunk person may see a pink elephant and you see spirits and spooks and your ancestors. Always the ancestors you never seen. You never talk about the ancestors that you actually know. Because the ancestors you never seen, you can paint them and make them anything you want them to be. But see, you can't turn Uncle Charlie, who is an ancestor now, you can't turn Uncle Charlie into a saint because everybody know Uncle Charlie's a drunk. But some unknown ancestor that you don't know nothing about, never seen, oh, they was a king, they was a queen, and they did all this great stuff. making up lies. Can't do that with Uncle Charlie. You don't go to Uncle Charlie's grave. But you knew Uncle Charlie. But you can't turn Uncle Charlie into this divine being that you can brag about, because Uncle Charlie was a drunk. We love fantasy and fiction. We want to make ourselves something that we're not. We can't handle the reality of who and what we are. Some of us cannot accept the reality when it's absolutely true. I don't stink. You just played basketball. You just rub yourself against other men on the basketball court. They stink. Y'all stink. You smell like sweat and funk. Oh, that's them. I don't smell like that. We can't handle reality when it's absolutely true. So I see why people don't like me. I see why they have a problem with me. Because I gotta keep it real. I'm not in denial of anything. That's the only way you're gonna progress. You're not gonna progress. Look, fantasy, how do I want to put this? A fantasy fictional solution cannot solve real problems. That's why we're sitting where we're at right now. The same problem for 400 years. Because the things that we have embraced clearly cannot get the job done. This is 2024. This is not 1930. If what you got or what we got in 1930 worked, we should not have the same problem 100 years later. But it feels good to you. And you can make it and turn it and twist it any way that you want to. Then you have the nerve to get angry at Christian people. And you're no different. All this pro-black scholarship committed. You ain't no different. The only thing that has changed is the characters in your belief system. It's the same premise. It's the same thing. You was waiting on the mother plane last year. You're waiting on the mother plane this year. And you was waiting on the mother plane in 1940, and 1950, and 1960, and 1980. They was waiting on Jesus 2,000 years ago. Prophet Muhammad, Allah gonna do this great thing 1,400 years ago, and you're still waiting. You're still waiting. You're still waiting for the DoorDash. And nothing has come. Nothing. That's not real. You like a child waiting for Santa Claus. He never comes. I know, I done it one time. I don't know how Santa Claus was going to get in my house because we had an actual chimney, but there was a fire down below. That's how we live. If I wanted to wait up and see Santa come down this chimney, because there's a big fire waiting on Santa Claus in my house. I got sleepy and I couldn't wait for Santa Claus. He never showed up. And this is how we are. We do the same thing as adults. But the child, the reason why I was waiting on Santa Claus, and it wasn't my mother's fault, society taught me about Santa Claus. Society lied to me. The preacher lied to me. People in the community lied to me about Santa Claus. And had a child, you have your children waiting on Santa Claus. And Santa Claus never come. How you doing, Denzel? We have another Denzel in the house. Shout out to our original Denzel, Denzel Rogers, and shout out to our Denzel Early in the chat room. And all those, shout out to all of you listening and those who will be listening to this broadcast at a later date. So I'm wrong for keeping it real. Well, I guess I'd just be wrong because I don't know no other way, because I lived that life. I lived the fantasy life, waiting on the mother plane, waiting on Jesus, waiting for some spook, some demon, something to help the black people, the black Messiah. I've done it. I'm sick of it. I can't do it no more. It's lies, fantasy. And a fantasy solution cannot solve a real problem. Happy New Year. We wanted to talk about this lie that we want black unity. Within my lifetime, one of the greatest events that happened to us in America was in 1995. It was called the Million Man March. And I participated in the Million Man March. It was a wonderful, incredible, unifying event. Some of you too young, you probably don't remember, you probably don't know. There are many who did actually go to the Million Man March. Unifying. If we could not unite under the Million Man March, then unity is impossible. On our way to the Million Man March, we saw all kinds of brothers. I heard some brothers actually rode a bicycle from California to the Million Man March. All down the road while we going to the Million Man March, we saw buses and cars. We shouting at each other. We going to the Million Man March. Electrifying, unifying. Nothing like this has happened in our community since Dr. King organized the march in Washington, 1963. It was big. Estimated 2 million. And who knows all the people watching around the world. And so there's a song that Louis Farrakhan sung, "A white man's heaven is a black man's hell." And I'm going to paraphrase. There's a line in the song where it talks about the whole wide world is waiting on you to see what the so-called Negro is gonna do. Woo, man. And here we are, the Million Man March, 1995. The whole wide world is waiting on you to see what the so-called Negro is gonna do. Shout out to our brother Tracy J. To see what the so-called Negro gonna do. And so we got there. And unfortunately, it was a big disappointment. I don't like to talk about it, but that's what happened. It became a big disappointment. The whole world is looking at you. And you disappointed the whole world. The whole wide world is waiting on you. It's just like a child waiting for daddy to bring Christmas presents on Christmas. And daddy come in the house. Woo! All the children is waiting on you to see what dear old dad is gonna do. Then daddy come in the house, take off his hat, take off his shoes, and put his head down. Sorry children, I didn't get that bonus I thought I was gonna get. Children don't understand, they're disappointed. Oh, what you said, daddy? Because daddy had hyped them up. The Million Man March was a big hype. There were people that didn't even want to participate in the Million Man March, but because of the hype, I want to get on board with that, because everybody want to get on board with a winner. Then they changed their mind because it kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I've never seen, and we've never seen this diverse participation in something in a long time, since the days of Dr. King. All kinds of people, Muslims, atheists, agnostics, gay, Christians, of course Muslims, all came together, all diverse, Pan-Africans, Nuwabi, everybody was there. Gang members, celebrities, all folks was there. The whole wide world is waiting on you to see what the so-called Negro is going to do. And all the brothers got was a bunch of speakers, ego tripping. Nobody had a plan. Nobody just feel-good church rhetoric. See, nobody came to hear somebody bring their belief. The men came there because they thought leadership had got together to come up with a plan to move the people forward. They did not come for a church revival. That's what it turned out to be, nothing but a big church revival. You can see the disappointment in the crowd. Didn't even have food for the brothers to buy. We had to go to Burger King. They didn't want the sisters there, but the sisters was there. The sisters refused to not participate. This is just a man thing. The sisters refused. But nobody set up, we didn't even have nothing to eat. But they had a lot of Kentucky Fried Chicken buckets or whatever to collect our dimes and dollars. And Louis Farrakhan gave the keynote address, and he talked about the dollar bill or something to that effect, and then talked about atone for your sins. Nobody did not come to the Million Man March for a church revival. So the song, the line in the song says, the whole wide world is waiting on you. What is the so-called Negro going to do? All eyes, 1995, October the 16th, I believe, 1995. The whole world looking at you. until this day has produced nothing except spiritual stuff. We don't know. Spiritual don't pay nobody's bills. Spirituality don't feed nobody's stomach. Spirituality don't keep our children out of foster care. Keep our people off drugs and alcohol. Keep our people off the street. Don't make jobs for nobody. We are in the same condition in 2025 that we were in 1995. With all this wisdom and all this scholarship, but nothing has changed. Then they look down upon those who want to bring something new, because they want to keep hammering what don't work into your head. The Million Man March should have brought unity, but it didn't. And it should have. Had they had a right plan, it would have brought the unity, because everybody would have unified under that. But see, we're not going to unify under the Nation of Islam. See, this is the thing that must be understood. From the mindset of the Nation of Islam, all these people are coming together to follow the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. That's a delusional lie that they believed. The people did not come to follow the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. They came to listen and see if we had a plan to help change the condition of the people. They did not come to follow the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And Louis Farrakhan saw that this gathering was such a failure. Within the next week, the general, the guy that kicked it all off, so embarrassed, he got on an airplane and took off. God told me to go on this tour of the Arab world, which is fine. And you're going to bring back what? He came back talking about what they gave him. They gave me this gold, this, and they gave me the key to the city here, and they did. What did you bring us? Didn't bring us nothing. The whole wide world is waiting on you to see what the so-called Negro is going to do. All these suckers talk about black unity. None of them are unified. None of them. They're not even unified within the people that they say believe the same thing. I'm not picking on the Nation of Islam, but Nation of Islam is a pure example of this. There's all kinds of factions of the Nation of Islam who claim they believe in Elijah Muhammad, but they're not unified. And Louis Farrakhan said, if you ain't following me, because I'm the popular one, everybody's supposed to follow me. See, this arrogance keeps us in trouble. For I'm popular. You had the Million Man March, sir. This was your opportunity to unify the people. See, I have no problem. Nobody have no problem with Minister Farrakhan being the leader, if you can lead. Exactly, Brother Tracy. The only thing they do is bicker and fight amongst each other. trying to convert people to what you believe. That's not unity. I'm the popular one. Well, you do your popular thing. Eric Muhammad might have 2 followers, 2 people listening to him. I don't have nothing to do with it. So you keep being popular. If you cannot unify people who believe the same thing that you believe in, what you gonna do for 40 million in this country? If Louis Farrakhan showed that he could lead, there should be no problem. The problem is he clearly showed that he's not a leader like that. A good preacher, a good teacher of spirituality, if that's your thing, but he does not have what it takes to actually lead the people because the people are diverse. Many of the people will tell you, all right, I don't like Louis Farrakhan. I don't like Islam. So what you gonna do? See, unity is easy. For those who want it. It's about compromise. It's about respect of the people that you want to unite with. You have no respect for nobody. You a damn know-it-all. You try to convert people you want people to believe how you believe. That's not unity. You're not going to get nobody like that, even in our own personal lives. In our families. We have to compromise. In order to have a happy family. Now, some of y'all don't have happy family, and some of your children cannot wait to become an adult so they can get the hell out of your house. Because you're controlling and you're a bully. And many of these folks, if they had the power, they would do that to us. They would kill us. They would bully us. They would oppress us to make us become what they think we should be. They're not interested in unity. A few weeks ago, we reached out to Dr. Umar Johnson. And I was willing to pay him to say something about our vision, Operation Exodus Mississippi campaign. I was willing to pay him. This man don't even have the respect to say, I'm not interested. He just goes silent. When he think he's going to get some money, how you doing, my African brother, and blah, blah, blah. See, he want my money for his purpose. He don't want to do nothing to help another brother. He don't want to do nothing to help another sister. It's all about me. You cannot unify with nobody when it's all about you. And that's what we have out here in this community. It's all about them. They use black unity as a selling tool. But actions speak louder than words. Clearly, they are not interested. They're not interested in you. They're not interested in us. They see us as slaves and want us on their slave plantation. That's all they want. I don't even have to talk about black power, because if you can't have unity, you're never going to have power. So I don't care how long Tariq Nasheed talk. I don't care how long Farrakhan talk. I don't care how long these Pan-Africans or the Moristan Temple. If you're not united, that's all it's going to be, is talk. There will never be any power. You cannot cannot unite with nobody unless you're able to compromise your position for the greater good. It proves you don't give a damn about soul brothers and sisters in this nation. That's what it proves. I have no problem with compromising my position for the greater good. I'm not trying to convert nobody to nothing, because what I represent don't require you to convert to nothing. I don't require conversion. I don't require teaching. You never hear me come here and talk about the Reality is Temple teaching. There is no teaching. Teaching is a belief. I want you to believe this for whatever reason. The scholarship is belief. Because when you put it under a microscope, it fails. It's nothing but another form of Christianity, religion, spirituality. It's not real, but that's your business. You don't need spirituality to create jobs. You don't need to believe in God to build a school. You don't need these things to get yourself together and create your own military force. So, all this is a lie. And the lie continues until 2025. And we embrace the lie because it makes us feel good. You want somebody to follow you, praise you. Oh, you so smart, the scholarship. These things have not been working for us. This is 2025. It's not 1930. And we're still waiting. This mindset, this blackening, pro-black, and it's not everybody. It's not everybody. There's always exceptions to the rule. But I have noticed people with this mind, when people get involved in religion, into this scholarship, they change who they are to become this belief. And that's what people didn't understand. When I was in the Nation of Islam, people did not understand why I was the way I was. Because I believe in these teachings, but I'm not going to change me. I like Michael Jackson. I like Prince. I don't like jazz. But for some reason, people believe when you become a Muslim, you got to start listening to jazz and jazz music and the blues or whatever, because you become a Muslim. You can't listen to what they call it secular music anymore. Or when you become a Christian, Christians don't listen to Michael Jackson. Christians can't listen to Prince or whatever. You got to change who you are, so now you can become this Christian or this Muslim or this Pan-African person. You change who you are so you can fit into this, what you believe this Muslim's supposed to be, or what a Pan-African's supposed to be, or what a Moor supposed to be. You got to change yourself. Deny your individuality to become this damn zombie. And I refuse to do that. I was a Muslim. I still listen to Elvis Presley. They got in the car with me. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Brother, you listen to that devil music. Elvis Presley hated black people. He said the only thing a black man could do was shine his shoe, which is a lie. That never happened. That's a propaganda. That's a lie. And even if I like Elvis Presley, I was listening to his music, that's me. Where do it say in the teachings I can't listen to Elvis Presley music? Where do it say that at? Where in the teachings where I cannot tell a white woman, you a nice looking lady? Oh, that's a devil, that's a woman. Where do it say in these teachings that you cannot be kind to another human being that ain't did a damn thing to you? But when they get into these teachings, it changes you to be like them. You become just as nasty and profane and evil like they are. And any black person that refused to get on your evil bandwagon, you call them the same names that the slave master called his slave. Yes, you do. And you want me to be part of you. See, this is what I mean. See, this is what I mean. You can't be kind to devils. See, this is what I mean, that mindset. But this same person go to the hospital and they need a blood transfusion. They never gonna say, I don't want no white people blood. I'd rather die. They gonna take the devil blood to save their life because they don't want to die. And chances are, if you do get a blood transfusion, it's coming from some white person. Because black folks don't give up blood like that. Unless it's on the street where they done shot another brother or sister, that's the only way you're going to get blood from them. We caught up in this fantasy world. See what I'm saying? Devils are not nice. Devils are evil. Devils don't exist. You exhibit the same behavior, so you a devil. How you gonna talk about somebody and you do the same thing they do? The only thing you mad about is you on the bottom. And your ass on the bottom because you can't unify. And if you got on top, maybe you can change things. But you're too selfish. You're too arrogant. So you deserve to stay on the bottom. So in 2025, you was on the bottom in 24, and you starting off on the bottom in 2025, and you're going to be on the bottom 2026. Until you change your mindset. Until you begin to understand the reality that you face. And stop being like the people that you claim you don't like. You're just like them. You're going to call somebody evil doing the same thing they do. See what I'm saying? These sound like Uncle Tom teaching. I don't have no teachings. I'm giving a commentary. Teachings is belief. Because you think that you smarter. Why don't you come here? Come and talk to us. Don't hide in a chat room. You have the same behaviors as the people you talk about. The same. What's an Uncle Tom? And that's propaganda, because according to the book, Uncle Tom was a savior. Uncle Tom was somebody that helped the slave. So where you getting that from? Spreading misinformation. This is 2025. We know better. We know about the Uncle Tom character now. Still spreading that lie. Because you're evil and you're wicked and you're a devil. And you have an agenda. The only thing you want to do is trick people and exploit people. and you want to use unity as a selling tool to get people on your plantation, because you don't give a damn about soul brothers and sisters in this nation. You don't care, because you like your massa. You are the spawn of your massa. If it wasn't for white folks, your mindset wouldn't even exist. The white man made you. Because all this black scholarship, all this would not even exist without the white man. And if you take black out of it, that's what it is. They're teaching, because it all come from them. Who gave you these teachings? Ain't no African taught you. Ain't no Arabs taught you. Who got you started on your journey of black scholarship? Who got you started on your journey of black scholarship? It was the white man. Who was the first books that you read? Who gave you the first books? It was the white man. Who taught you about Egypt? The white man. Who gave you all these teachings? You didn't start getting nothing from Garvey and all these folks until 1930. And where did he get his teachers from when you start breaking down the root? It came from them. And then you try to turn it into something that you embrace. You think that you created. It all come from them. That's why you act like them. That's why you behave like them. Black was not created, and black is a European racial classification. Black came from them. African came from them. Everything you use came from them. And black was designed to divide. It was not designed to unify. That's why you still divided. It gives you a screwed up mindset, just like them. And you wonder why the 40 million in this country, soul brothers, you wonder why they reject what you talk about, and then you talk a good game, but you don't produce a damn thing. So the people looking, we supported the Million Man March, and you didn't give us nothing. We got nothing out the deal. People sacrificed. People suffered. They to make the Million Man March what it was. Had the whole world looking at you to see what the so-called Negro is gonna do. You produce nothing. And you want to get angry at me for talking about the obvious? What actually happened? I didn't have nothing to do with it. I tried to help. I was there to help. Now we come on this platform bringing you what could have helped us in 1995. The vision we call the Mississippi Campaign. It just wasn't their time. It's your time now. And the Mississippi Campaign has nothing to do with religion or what somebody personally want. It's all political. Just want to put black people, all soul brothers and sisters, in a better place. Has nothing to do with religion or what somebody personally want. Want to put all the people in a better place. And when they look at you this time to see what the so-called Negro is going to do, you're going to show them. You're going to produce. And the world, wow. They waiting on you, you say. That means you have to be a leader. and these things that we have because of that mindset, you're not a leader. That's the only thing you know how to do is say, well, Malcolm said, Elijah Muhammad said, Noble Drew Ali said, Jesus said. You a follower. Marcus Garvey said, you a follower. You ain't gonna do nothing. Because you waiting to follow somebody to show you what you need to do. So the world not interested in you. The only way the world is going to be interested in soul brothers and sisters is that we have to become leaders. And you're a follower, you're a servant. Just a few weeks ago, not too long ago, on the East Coast, they had all these drones flying around. At first, they were unidentified flying objects. And I'm very sure many of the Nation of Islam people, oh, that's the mother plane, the baby plane, they flying. Elijah Muhammad is coming back, all this stuff. But before they can claim those drones, it was made clear that's what they were, drones. Had they stayed UFOs, the Nation of Islam, people who believe in that teaching, oh, that's the baby plane. Elijah Muhammad, Allah is coming to get us. This is how messed up your head is. Ain't nobody gonna come help you. Nobody gonna come help us. We are on our own. If you can't grow up as a man, you can't grow up as a woman and begin to think for yourself and lead yourself. You depended upon some baby planes and spirits and demons to come help you. You done. That's why instead of unity, you spend your time trying to convert people to your religion, your dirty gutter religion, this feel-good stuff. Because that's the best you can do. You have no leadership skills. You're incompetent. You're a follower. That's why you say, I'm a follower of Marcus Garvey. I'm a follower of Malcolm. I follow. I'm going down the yellow brick road. I'm going down the yellow brick road, going to see the Wizard of Oz. I'm going down the yellow brick road. You're a follower, looking for the Oz. And when it was all said and done, looking for the Oz, they told you you could have went home by yourself. You had the power to go home all by yourself. And the Oz, I'm going to get ready to turn this mic over to our brother Talib. And the Oz turned out to be fake. It was all smoke and mirrors. It wasn't real. Woo! Brother Talib, are you there? Brother Talib.
Yeah, I'm here, brother. Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Go ahead and do your thing, man.
Okay, thanks, brother, and thanks everyone for having me here on this live platform tonight to speak concerning this topic and otherwise. You know, I was just sitting up here thinking, not too long ago, you know, even about what we teach on this platform concerning Operation Exodus Mississippi and concerning us taking control of the state. Well, if we don't have the unity to put aside our differences and petty egos, we could never get that accomplished.
Yes.
And we've seen that even in recent past when we tried to propose this ideal to others. in the black social media stratosphere. And this goes along with anything else. I remember someone who I used to follow, I called myself following, rather
Mm-hmm.
to say, by the name of Dr. Malachi York Hill, who's incarcerated in a super maximum federal prison, would once say that back in the 60s, we are, as different black organizations and stuff, had a chance to unite all at once
Mm-hmm.
because of the times during that period of our history in this country. We all had a chance to come together. And that's true. And I don't see that even in this generation, because we're so more, divisive when it comes to ideology more than we ever were when it comes to religion, when it comes to just the way we do things, period, in life. It's just too much to say. It's that how can we be divided when we wasn't never together?
Exactly.
And see, this is the thing. How can we ever unite? That means that we just ain't together. And my thing is that if we don't put down these childish differences between ourselves and each other, we may never come together. And I know I hear some pro-blacks in the pro-black be black conscious community say that while people said that during slavery, our people said that during the old school Jim Crow. But you know what? What we did gain during those periods of times in our history in this nation, especially with the civil rights movement, is constantly being pushed back. And it's pushing us so far back that it could be a possibility that we may never actually come together. For those of you who always talk about coming together but ain't got a plan or a concrete plan to make that happen. So I say that at this point, we must either stop talking and let's do it, or shut up and sit down and take our pressure, just like we've been taking for the past 400 years. And really, that's the point where I've gotten. Because when I look up, and it's like we are just here, existing, buying time.
Exactly.
Until our demise. We're already being slowly exterminated through these racist police killing us, through this systemic racist system, mass incarcerating us. You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, we have no time to wait or waste. Things change over time in this country. We've been seeing it for the past 5 years, really. So, I mean, anything, and we've been warning you about this for years
Mm.
on this platform, but you keep taking this for granted. You know, oh, black people can never be put back in slavery. Well, I mean, all I got to say is for that, just keep sitting back and twiddling your finger while things is happening, and you'll find out, you know, what the reality of this whole situation really is. Because if you really want to know the truth of the matter, when you talk about going way back during the times of Noble Drew Ali and Marcus Garvey and even Elijah Muhammad, when they first all got started in the 20s and 30s, our ancestors had more, you know, valor in them to try to stand up for something instead of just falling for anything. We ain't even got that today. Too busy out here, you know, worrying about how we gonna get by, repaying the rent, and keeping the bills paid. You know, worrying about you know, check pocketing everybody. You know, check pocketing everybody. You know, talking about who broke, who ain't, and all that kind of stuff. You know, this is the type of time we're living in. So we ain't got nothing. Our mind is very far away from liberation. All we want to know is, do you got money? What can you do for me? You know, and all this. What you got in your bank account? You know, what can you offer me? Me.
Right.
It ain't about helping the next person. And if you do, there's some agenda ties to come with it. You know, agenda attachments that come with that. You know, and you know what type of attachments that might be. You see what I'm saying? It's not about looking out for one another. You know, so it's all about what can you do to get over on somebody or for somebody to give you something. And that's what it's all about with us as a group of people in this country. Because we've lost our way when they even come to that. You know, and even though crack is not the typical drug that people are out there using these days, from what I know, because of the replacement of crack, which was replaced by meth, which is supposed to be considered a drug for white Caucasians mostly, in which, like someone said to me the other day, the money proceeds coming from methamphetamine don't even pass through the black community in this country. So basically, all we were during the crack epidemic was guinea pigs. So this nation could go fund these wars. Now they ain't got no wars to go fund. So now all we left in is a bunch of desecration, and we ain't trying to pick up from that because everything has been destroyed, you know. And so what makes it worse is that we cling on to that survival mode when it comes to just straight up individuality. You know, and this is the reason why I don't really care to hear the advice that another soul person got to give anybody to tell you the truth, you know, or someone giving you advice trying to tell you what to do, and they ain't even got their closet together. You see what I'm saying? But just trying to tell you what to do probably is a way to try to control you, so they can see how much they can take advantage of you. You see. So this is what we're dealing with, and when we don't understand what's going on around us, especially like so many of us think we do, then that becomes even a bigger problem. Because if we really knew what was happening around us, not only with our individual selves, but just with others around us in general, then we would know where to pick up from and go address the problem the way it needs to be addressed, so that all roads will lead to us finally coming together. For those of you that always talk this unity stuff, as far as coming together go, you know, most of you talk this Pan-African stuff, but ain't none of you gonna go with Africa.
Nope.
And help those Africans that's going through their, you know, own devices of suffering and colonization. You see what I'm saying? But you want to stay over here in America and be comfortable, you know, and talk about for the next 20 years or 30 years, you still building a school that still ain't been built. You see what I'm saying? While you still sucking dry those who barely even have it to give. You know, like the Nation of Islam teachers always talk about how the poor is being robbed. The poor and the blind is being robbed by the bloodsucker. You know? Well, they ain't no different, because they ain't no different from the bloodsucker that's robbing the poor. Just like everybody else that's robbing the poor. You see? So the thing about that is that we definitely have to understand that right within the ranks of what we claim to believe in, the same thing is going on. This is why we don't have to look externally outside. Because long as we're destroying each other internally inside, it really and truthfully don't make no difference what the external forces on the outside is doing to us. And that's what it's come down to. And this is why I say we might as well just accept our oppression, since we want to keep on continuing on this route. And I hate to say that, but that's what the reality is. It's not my own initiative or suggestion that we keep doing that. All I'm just clearly putting it out there as far as what's going on right in front of our face. And we prideful to see this. Because we got this thing where we don't know what you're talking about. I know what I'm talking about. And the way I see it is the way it is. No. It ain't even about the way I see it. It's about what's going on in front of our eyes, like I said. But when you got that mentality about how you see things, and that's the only way things are supposed to be perceived or looked at, then we're gonna always have a problem. You see. So this is what's going on with us as a people. And this is why I always take something out the page of an elder. Not better known as Lily Fuller Jr., who is one of our ancestors, who's still amongst the living, that once said that if black people don't have nothing positive to say to one another, then they're better off not even speaking to one another. And this is what it's come down to. You know, it's just like an example. And I'm not picking on our younger generation when I say this, but a lot of them you just can't talk to. You better not even try to hold a conversation with them unless a particular situation arises, and y'all may have some type of kind of cordial conversation with each other. But you just can't walk up to them and just talk. Hey, brother, what's going on? Hey, sister, what's going on? Without getting some type of kind of crazy response. Or probably a gun pulled to your head or put in your face. You know what I'm saying? This is what we deal with. So my thing with that is that in a lot of cases, we're better off not even saying that to each other. That's if you want to stay alive. All I'm just saying is what's come down the pipe or what's going on amongst us. You know, this is nothing I created or made up. This is what's actually happening. And then you get some of you who would say, well, you can't be scared of the younger generation. Well, that's like saying you can't be scared of some of the older generation who's just as ignorant as the younger generation. Okay? So what is your point? What are you saying? You know? You got some 70-year-old cats out here right now still act like they 12 or 16 years old. I mean, very childish. I'm talking about people that came before me and ain't snuck 7. Been here on this planet longer than us.
Yeah.
Still got the mentality of a 12-year-old. You know what I'm saying? So, my thing, you know, my thing is that basically, you know, my thing is basically is that we in a situation that's just the way things is amongst us. I remember growing up in the 70s when things may have been a little different amongst the people, so, but it's not even that way no more. We don't look at each other as neighborhood, community neighbors any longer. We don't have no type of concern for each other. If somebody sees somebody's house getting broken into, oh man, I ain't see nothing, man. Or I'm gonna close my door like I didn't see nothing. I'm just minding my business over here. Or because I ain't trying to get shot. Or I ain't calling the police. I ain't trying to get shot by nobody. Because of that no snitch policy that they got going in our so-called community. You see? So as long as you got all this going on, and until we're willing, like men and women, to address this kind of stuff, no, we can never have no unity. As long as you let drug dealers, gang members run rampant through the community, you know, by injecting fear throughout the community, this nation that we live in as a group, then we gonna continue on going downhill. And yes, I know this is a hard pill for many of you, those of you who are listening to this live podcast or live stream, to be able to comprehend or to even be able to attest to, because you don't think your dues stank, you see. So my thing is that I feel like we are at a point right now where I have to say we are at the lowest point we've ever been. Because when you think about our ancestors, because those of you who will be quick to respond with, well, look at what happened to us in slavery. Don't nothing compare to that. You know what? Even during that time, our ancestors had more heart than we did. A lot of them, like Harriet Tubman, was willing to escape to their freedom. They was willing to escape off the plantations. We don't even got that type of heart no more. Especially because of how we became so insensitized and immersed into the ways of this society that we just have gotten too comfortable. Because we forgot our position in this society. And to the point where, all we now are depending on is whether the Republicans or the Democrats is going to do something for us. When we need our own political party.
Right.
Well, we can do something for ourselves, you see. So, that's just the way things is. And I have to say that, at the same time, I feel like this here. No one can, make you go to the well. You got to take the initiative to go to the well. And that's just the way it is with us. The writing is on the wall. It's like y'all say, y'all got the information. We'll take that information, and I'm not talking about just any kind of information. Take the right information and make it apply for that particular purpose, what it needs to be applied to get the ball rolling, so that we can have true freedom in this nation as a people for once and all. Instead of getting on social media, yapping off at your mouth, talking all this nonsense that ain't measuring up to nothing. While we still find ourselves in the same condition every day, living in America as sole black people. And with that said, I want to take a moment to pass the mic back to our brother, Angel Snuff Snuff 7. Thanks for letting me speak.
You're welcome.
Thank those of you who heard.
You're welcome. I want to piggyback off what you was talking about, because you reminded me of something. You were talking about our own political party. And I was listening to some commentary where they were speaking on the Democratic Party, and this great failure with replacing Joe Biden with Kamala Harris. Now, me personally, I would have just kept, what do Trump call him? Sleepy Joe. I just would have let Sleepy Joe just kept going. I would not have in the middle of everything.
Yeah, Sleepy Joe.
Yeah. I wouldn't have replaced him. Just, I just would have went on, just kept going, keep rolling. He couldn't have done no worse than what happened with Kamala Harris, which turned out to be like an MTV Spring Party. That's what her campaign seemed to be. I don't even. It didn't even look like a political election. It looked like it was MTV Spring Break or something. But they was talking about how destroyed right now, because they don't even hold power in the Senate or the House of Representatives now. Everything is Republican. That's how terrible the Democratic Party is right now, and they go back and forth. These parties, Republican and Democrat, because if the Republicans do bad, it's gonna turn Democratic again. That's how it goes. They just bounce back and forth. That's how they do things. But in the meantime, let's say, for instance, since black people love the Democratic Party so much, with a different mindset, why don't you create your version of the Democratic Party and put your candidate up before, however they do that. And maybe your candidate that you choose, who you create, will become the Democratic Party. Like the same thing like Sister Fannie Lou Hamer was doing in Mississippi. She created, I forgot, the Mississippi Free Democrat Party. I forgot what the exact name was. But that's what she was attempting to do. Or you can just create something brand new and go for it. And see, you can do that, and you may not think that white folks or other people will vote for you. It's according to how you represent yourself. You're not going to represent yourself as black. You represent yourself just like the Mississippi campaign. The Mississippi campaign is designed, of course, to help soul brothers and sisters. But it's political. So you can embrace the citizens of this nation, because the citizens of this nation is what will give you your power. The citizens of this nation will cause black unification. Because as you know, many of our people, what about the white folks? They here. See, we're not smart. We don't know how to be smart. Oh, wow. See, it's certain things that you can't make people understand, because you so used to following somebody. So you depended upon that person to be smart, the leader. Unfortunately, in your situation, all your leadership, all these people that you talk about is dead. And they was not successful when they was here. Malcolm X was great, but he was not successful. Elijah Muhammad was great. He was not successful. Marcus Garvey, Noble Drew Ali, all these folks were not successful. They did not win. They kicked up a little smoke, a little dust on the road, but they were not successful. If they were successful, we would be in a better position. They were destroyed. They was put down. And we blame COINTELPRO. COINTELPRO did what it did, but the main people that destroyed us was us. Go look at the history. And the same thing right now to this day. It's not them. What they do, they take advantage of our foolishness. That's what they do. They know that you hate Angel Snub 7. We will use that to keep them messed up. They take advantage of it. They did not cause you to hate me. You did it. And they take advantage of it. They know that there was a rift between Dr. King and the Nation of Islam and the Black Panther Party. They just took advantage of all these, and they sent in their informants, and the informants said, well, you know, Eric Bell don't like Angel Snub 7. So they sent somebody among myself and Talib, and that person will work. I'm like, damn, Brother Talib, that person really working the Mississippi campaign. Yeah. And they sneaking telling Talib a little something. And then they telling me a little something about Talib. And that's how they break up these organizations. That's how they break us up. And we believe the stuff. Instead of talking to each other and bringing the one that's telling the lie, telling these things, can we come see you? Then you tell Talib this? Yeah, because you told me, because Talib didn't so-and-so say that to you? Yeah. And get them caught up. See, these informants, these spies don't get caught up because we all wrapped up. We believe the negative things. We thinking that we are engaging in some big secret. No, look, the Nation of Islam did not even follow its own protocol. The Nation of Islam protocol is not to spread slander and gossip. Had they followed that protocol and did what they're supposed to do, the rift between Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm would have got cut off, would have got nipped in the bud from the very beginning. But they didn't do that. Because if somebody in the Nation of Islam, I was taught, if somebody brings some negative bull crap to me, take it to the captain, you get the person who told you this stuff, and let's see what's the deal. They didn't do that. Because there was so much hate for Malcolm, they wanted to hear bad news about Malcolm. They wanted negative stuff about Malcolm. The members of the nation, there was members in the nation, including Elijah Muhammad family, they wanted to spread nasty, negative things about Malcolm. They wanted to destroy him. But the burden falls upon the believers because the believers was taught, do not spread gossip, do not spread slander. They failed in their own protocol. Had they done that, Elijah Muhammad's own children would have got caught up. But they didn't follow their own protocol. A lot of Nation of Islam members, when the Malcolm Elijah Muhammad thing went down, some of them left. Because even according to the Quran, they was in violation. What is that movie, Planet of the Apes? Remember, one of the laws in the movie Planet of the Apes, apes don't kill apes. Apes don't cause harm to other apes, no matter what. And that's how we should do. We don't kill each other. Chances are there's a spy. And see, some of these people, some of them are not even from the government. Just some nasty, low-down people that don't like you for some reason. Like in the case of Malcolm, don't have nothing to do with the government. The government found out about it. And they took advantage. That's how they do us. We want to believe the lie, because I don't like Angel Snutting up 7 anyway. You want to believe the lie. You want to believe the slander and the gossip. You want to believe it. They broke their own protocol. But this is the time for you to form your own party. Either you go into the Democratic Party and raise up your own candidate, or you produce your own. A lot of blackity black folks claim they will produce your own. Attract your people to what are you going to do different than the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. And you can't just say it's for black folks. You have to represent the people. But see, your mindset is like them. And that's why you're not going to get nowhere. Because the 40 million believe they are part of all this. And if you want them, you got to become part of this so they'll listen to you. They're not going to listen to you. I don't want to hear that Muslim stuff. I don't want to hear that Moor stuff. I don't want to hear that blackity black stuff. They don't want to hear it. I'm an American. You're not going to Africa. Brother, the Myth Detector put up a nice short video of how black slaves went to Liberia and caused trouble. They guilty of the same thing that the white man did when they went to Africa. These black slaves, the Africans, they went to Africa and did to them people the same thing the Europeans done to them. Same thing. My African brother. You've been here for 400 years. You have their ways. You're not going to go to any African country and all of a sudden become them. You're going to have a culture. They do things and believe things. They eat things that you can't comprehend. There's going to be cultural conflict. I don't care how blackity black. Why you think Umar Johnson don't move to Africa? Why you think these black people, why you think they are in no rush to go to these places? Because you're not them. And if you go to the right place, they will kill you. Which they don't talk about it. They will kill you. But see, I'm not about, why go mess with those folks? We can create a business relationship with people in Africa when you get yourself together in America. The old line says, the whole world is waiting on you to see what the so-called Negro is going to do. What is he doing right now? Waiting on somebody to come save them. They're waiting on Malcolm to come from the grave, that Jesus, Noah Joe Ali, Marcus Garvey gonna do something. All these dead, Harriet Tubman, Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey is dead. Frederick Douglass is dead. And if they were alive, you probably wouldn't even like them. See, that's the thing about it. We embrace these dead people because we can make them any way that we want to. You are guilty just like the white folks are. Caucasian people, pink people, the racists in this country, they use their media and they paint Dr. King the way they want Dr. King to be. He's gone. He can't say yes or no. They did the same thing to Malcolm because they gone. And you do the same thing. You take Elijah Muhammad, you take Malcolm, you take Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey, School of Academy, whatever you want to call it. That's because they dead. And you can paint and make them any way you want. There's a rumor that Louis Farrakhan is in hospice care. That's the rumor. I don't know. They're not even preparing for Savior's Day. I've been on the internet looking for Savior's Day 2025. Watch what happens when he passes. Watch. It never fails for us. It never fails. We talk all this scholarship stuff, but you're a follower. Trying to follow dead people, follow the ancestors. The ancestors were slaves for 400, 300, 400 years. What the hell are we going to follow them for? They couldn't even do nothing for themselves. And you claim to be an African, the ancestors. They was conquered. What you following them for? They was conquered. And they still conquered to this day. What kind of power you going to get out of that? I don't understand your thinking. I want to be with a winner. You should want to be, they want you to win. The only way they can win is that you have to become the winner. You have to learn how to be a leader of yourself. Use your own brain. Can't be trying to follow them. They're gone. Trying to follow this made up, fabricated stuff. Living in this fantasy world. But this is the perfect time for us to create our own party. And you may not believe it. Many of those Democratic people might follow you when you show that you are a leader. Because clearly what they done failed. That's why Barack Obama was elected president. Because the country was in a bad shape. And they turned to this black man. They help get them out of it. Or if it get worse, they can blame the black man. And they chose Barack Obama. But you can't comprehend what I'm saying because you're nothing but a follower. You follow. When I was growing up, this black power thing, now it was always there. But when I was a child, people wasn't trying to convert you, you know you're African and or all these different ideologies. They weren't trying to force that on you. We were just trying to live and survive and get justice. Get justice. It don't make no difference if you are African or Nubian or Israelite when they pull a bullet in your brain. That was the main concern. Trying to avoid getting lynched. That was the main concern. But you don't have that concern. So the only thing you concentrate on, you know you are African, or you know you are Aboriginal, you know you are Moor, you know you are Israelite. That's all these suckers talk about. Divisive. And all these things cause the division. And the reason why they couldn't unite the people, because they did the same thing. Marcus Garvey versus E.B. Du Bois, W.E.B. Du Bois, and Elijah Muhammad versus Dr. King, and the Black Panthers versus everybody. They was divisive too.
And Booker T. Washington versus Frederick Douglass.
Yeah, see? It goes on and on and on. And you, instead of learning from their mistakes, we have the same behavior and do the same thing. We ain't learn a damn thing. We're comfortable, just like Brother Talib said, And that's because we're comfortable in what our massa gave us. Like Tariq Nasheed said, our butter biscuits. We're comfortable, really. So we sit around and argue. Marcus Garvey, Dr. King, Elijah Muhammad, Marcus Garvey, Frederick Douglass Academy. You know, I'm a hero.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, no, I didn't. You know what? I want to retract that because I don't know if Frederick Douglass and Booker T. Washington lived in the same exact time.
Who was it?
But I know Booker T. Washington. Booker T. Washington. I know he did have some disagreements with some other black leaders of that time, but I don't know exactly where it was.
It was Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois.
Yeah. Okay, yes.
Because Booker T. Washington, Booker T. Washington believed in, like real skills like farming and agriculture, the sciences or whatever, labor type things, and W.E.B. Du Bois believed in the talent and intent, the getting your college degrees and leadership like that. And then
you had like earlier when you mentioned the COINTELPRO.
Yeah.
Okay. It was Huey P. Newton versus Elder Cleaver.
Yeah.
They took like you said. They took advantage of that.
Yeah.
Because of that foolishness that was going between them two brothers.
Exactly.
So, it was like, because I remember listening to the audio between, where him and Elder Cleaver was going back and forth. And this was during the time when Huey P. Newton was, I believe, either incarcerated or out on bond. And Elder Cleaver, I think, Huey P. Newton was incarcerated at the time, but Elder Cleaver was over there in I-3, I believe, at the time. And, they were going back and forth with each other, over the differences of, what was best for the Black Panther Party and all this kind of stuff, And when they were supposed to all been on the same one common board, And so, as we know, and as history shows, that this situation came about just like this other situation, like we talked about between Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X. And then, and see, they don't want to go back that far to the 20s and talk about where it was, enlightenments internally going on within the Moore Science Temple of America, where you had the treachery of the Moore Science Temple, who actually turned in Noble Drew Ali because of corruption in that organization. And as a result, this Secretary of the Treasury was assassinated. Mm-hmm. At the behest of Noble Drew Ali. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, Noble Drew Ali was taken out. So, I mean, it was, then you had these different factions of Moors during Noble Drew Ali's time that was actually enemies of his. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? To bring him to his demise, So, I mean, it was like all these different groups, even with the Nuwaubian organization I claim to be a part of. Now it's different factions for them like it is in the Nation of Islam since the demise of Dr. Malachi York, who's been incarcerated for over 20 years, Mm-hmm. So I mean, and then, you had a lot of this stuff going on in that organization, which he got found guilty of as, child pedophile behavior and stuff like that. And these a lot of things that me and a lot of other people didn't know that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
When we were into them teachings, so to speak, or whatever, you know. So I mean, it's like I mean, and just like with the Nation of Islam when it was up under the direct leadership of Elijah Muhammad, didn't want to accept that he was laying around underage girls, you
Yes.
know, and stuff like that. So I mean, this together, all together, supposedly is a situation that does not signal unity within the body of an organization or in the body of us all as a group of people. You see what I'm saying? Because in order for us to be able to have unity, we have to have a common accord and agreement to hold our leaders accountable.
Exactly.
And we didn't hold Elijah Muhammad accountable.
No.
You see what I'm saying? Even though Dr. Malachi York was held accountable, people like Yahweh Ben Yahweh was probably held accountable, but back then, the other leaders like Elijah Muhammad, they were not held accountable.
Right.
And this is why things continued on to the way that it is today with these organizations and these different leaders, you know. And so, you know, and I say the biggest accountability that they need to be brought to is the fact of the misguiding and the misleading people, you know.
Right.
And long as they're misleading people and you know, just straight up you know, like you say, passing around Kentucky fried chicken buckets and stuff, you know,
Right.
from the people in where? You know what I mean? They still will not be held accountable for that. That's a problem. You know, while you living rich, or well off and good off of other people, struggling and everything just to try to keep their rent paid, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. And then you ain't having no concern or consideration for that, all because you're some type of divine entity, you know, that's entitled to these benefits. But the people that's following you or following behind you don't get the same equal treatment. So I thought this was supposed to be about true equality and justice. Come on, let's make this make sense, you know? So my thing is that this is the reason why we will not unite. And I'm going to say this again. This is not of my own wishing. This is not of my own creation. This is not of my own selfish indulgence. I want to see us unified.
Yes.
But the reality is what's going on in front of us right now before our eyes, whether we can see it or not, it's the telltale story that we cannot be united in this fashion, you know, and so this is and as long as we choose to want to have this mentality, well, if you don't follow this certain leader, we won't never get nowhere as a people.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's what's a crutch that's been keeping us back, held back for so long from being able to become a united people because of that mentality just alone. You got to follow a particular certain leader. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And see, this is the reason why Malcolm X and Martin Luther King was about to come together. If you notice, Malcolm X dropped off, then King dropped off.
Uh-huh.
And then next thing you know, these other leaders that even he was trying to, I guess, make, coalitions with, these other leaders started falling off, or they started, being bought out, stuff like that. This is what happened because we let it happen.
Yeah.
It ain't happened because we just sat back. These people came in and just simply did what they wanted to do. No, we let this happen.
Yeah.
See, this is, and like I heard someone say, in a video, that I was watching before I came on this, that, as traditional men, we have to start taking responsibility for our own actions in the court of our choices, and not blame no one else. Because if you already know what the situation is, then you're going to do something about it. But you're not going to do anything about it. It's just like we talked about all the time that you had to deal with when you was a kid, right? And you had made a choice that eventually, for once and all, you was going to get this bully up off you, and you did. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you wasn't willing to stand and let him keep running with you. You see what I'm saying? And so that's basically the same thing, with us. We keep complaining about what these white folks did, what these white folks took from us. Well, what are you gonna do about it? We've been hearing this same song for years and years and years and years. I was out last night while people were celebrating New Year's, and I was hearing this guy talking about we need to go back and take these white folks stuff like they took from us. Like, wait a minute. You ain't had no plan. You ain't coming with no strategy or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just babbling off at the mouth. Like any other Negro on the street. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And so this is what we get, So now we're in this same position. It's what someone in a conscious community years ago would say, nothingness. This is the position that we have, come to, nothingness. And that means that we're nothing. Because we have no strategy, no type of strategic plan to deal with the situation that we're in. First of all, you just not going to take that from these white folks unless you want to be met with military armor that you don't have equally to combat with. You see what I'm saying? So what you mean taking away from them? You see what I'm saying? That don't even make sense. The people that are oppressing us, we need a military equal as theirs to be able to deal with them in the most appropriate way as possible. You see what I'm saying? Equally. But we all won't be slaughtered all at once. You see what I'm saying? We just think off our emotions, A lot of us just want to be heard anyway, and that's all that is. We want to be heard. So this is the thing. This is what's going on with the situation. And like you said, all we got to do is take the easier route by taking control of the political situation of the state. You see what I'm saying? So that we can go to a point where we could possibly become even our own independent nation. We always talking this nationhood stuff. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, when we get on here and we talk like that, it's fun. Don't nobody want to hear that. That's a pipe dream.
Right.
But everything you've been saying is a pipe dream. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I mean, that's why I say, you know what? Until we get serious about coming up with a real plan, like you spoke about, which was supposed to happen at the 1995 Million Man March, until we come with a real plan to deal with our situation as a whole, as a people. then we might as well just accept our oppression.
Exactly.
And it's sad that it has to sound like that, but that's what it is. I mean, look at the slaves. I mean, you talk about the slaves. They wasn't willing to just accept their oppression. Every chance they got tried to escape off the plantation. I mean, those that were scared to anyway. You see what I'm saying? And then those like Harriet Tubman that was able to get away by escaping off the plantation was willing to come back to help free as many of the people or as many of the other slaves as possible. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of us don't even have that mentality going. But we want to sit up and talk about what ancestors could have did more better. Well then how about we put in the work and set that example then. Instead of always talking about what the ancestors didn't do right and how they should have did this and how they should have did that. And like you going back to like you said, if you see today, a lot of people would be like by us. You see what I'm saying? So what are you talking about? You wouldn't even like I hear a lot of these brothers talking the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Muhammad Ali. If them brothers was here today, half y'all hate they guts. You see what I'm saying? Half people wouldn't even want to have nothing to do with anything concerning them. You see what I'm saying? Just like a lot of us did when they were alive, you know?
Right.
Just like a lot of people always talk, I don't try to idolize Malcolm X into making him so much of a hero, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. If he was alive, y'all wouldn't even felt that way about him. And some of the same people who hated him, that's still around today living, actually idolizes him in some cases. You know what I'm saying? But when he was alive, they couldn't stand him, you see? And that's very good, you know? So, I mean, man, I'm saying, man, you know, we need to stop this and get serious about our liberation. And as far as Dr. King, you know, a lot of y'all wouldn't, you know, I hear a lot of y'all, certain people on social media talking ill about Dr. King now. You know, saying all kind of dirty, nasty, you know, ish about him, you know. Didn't even live during the time the man was around. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about their parents or grandparents when he was around. Okay, that's your parents. That's your grandparents, but you wasn't around when he was around. So you can really know him like that. Other than what you heard coming from maybe your people that was around him, you know, when he was alive. But you wasn't there. You know, and so I mean, and we'll argue you up and down like they know what they talking about. You see what I'm saying? So this is just the crazy thing about this whole situation. I mean, you know, is that we have no, and like you said, there were a lot of those who hated Dr. King. And all this man was trying to do was bring peace to the whole entire nation, not just equality for soul people, but equality for everybody else in this nation. You see what I'm saying? But you know they even hated him with a passion and was trying to get him from his own circles. Like in the case with Malcolm X, like you mentioned, you know, the external enemy forces are, and they take advantage of it. And like I said, this is the same thing that's going on now. I mean, you know, Just look at how these rappers are killing each other left and right. You know, and of course, you know, then those, you know, who control the courts, prison system, they come in and they, you know, carry on in accomplishing what they will by imprisoning one of them while one of them is dead. You see what I'm saying? All because of stupidity. You see, you know, over rap songs. You know what I'm saying? And this kind of silly stuff. So I mean, it's like, man, it is crazy. You know how Versa at a high level it has gotten. You know, when it comes to all this sickness that's going on amongst us as a people. You know, and this is the reason we get mad at other black people when we choose to want to move around white folks or move somewhere else because we don't want to be around wretched, ignorant folks that's doing stuff like this. You see what I'm saying? Because people want to, you know, move where they could live and raise their families in a more, you know, safer environment or something like that, you know. And you get these same Negroes who talk this stuff about, oh, these people can suck it out or the ran and moved over there with them white folks. Well, what have you, what place have you prepared for them? The way they ain't got to worry about going outside, getting their pocketbooks snatched. Their children, you know, playing in the front yard ain't got to worry about catching a bullet while they just in the front yard playing or something. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, you know, I mean, it's the reason why I say to myself, and I say to those of you that are listening, look at the whole reality of things exactly for what it is. Don't go on your feelings. Don't go on your emotions. Just look at the reality of things, what's happening right before your eyes. Before you criticize, you know, people for saying what they're saying, like what we're talking about on this platform. You know, just take a look at reality. Don't look at the individual bringing the message. Look at the message that the individual is bringing and put two and two together, you know, and use your common sense. Thinking on emotions, because that's what's keeping them also to the point where we may not never unify. It's because we so emotional. We don't know. It's already bad enough. We don't talk to each other. And you know, you can see that the white folks, like with the Willie Benson, you know, the plan and all that, taught us Haiti, this, that, but what are we gonna do to change that? We know that. Okay, we've been singing the same song for years. We know that. What are we gonna do to finally change that? And that's what all that boiled down to. What are we gonna do to change that? We ain't doing nothing to change that, so hey, ain't no sense of complaining about it. That's why I say we not gonna do nothing to change our situation as a people in this nation. Then we might as well just sit back and continue for the 400 years, accepting whatever type of oppression we got coming our way. With that said, because I got to get up, you know, get ready for the morning. But I appreciate this, brother.
Yeah.
You and others for hearing me speak on this platform, this live platform. And with that said, I yield my mic.
Thank you so much, Brother Talil, for joining us tonight. And do you have a some kind of microphone or something hooked to your phone or whatever?
Yeah. That's probably what it is. You hear.
Yeah, it's terrible. You should be able to talk.
All right.
You should be able to talk without that.
Let me. Yeah, I should be. It's probably because I got my headphones on. That's probably.
Yeah, the headphones. Yeah, that's what's happening. Did you? You just
okay.
Yeah, because that was horrible.
But was I always?
Huh?
Yeah, but was I still sounding clear with my headphones on?
No, it's terrible. It was terrible.
Okay.
Yeah, don't use it.
Yeah, man. You know. Yeah.
It had a lot of static. And
So.
Yeah, don't use the headphones.
So that means people. So then that means people didn't clearly hear my words. Then.
I mean, we could hear your words.
Right.
It was a lot of static and vibration.
It's just static. A lot of yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, don't use this.
Yeah, I apologize for that. Yeah, next time I just I won't have my headphone connected into that then.
Yeah, but that was terrible.
Yeah. And also, what I want to mention too is that before I already know I close out, but I want to just add some on just for that note that we're gonna have to really start paying attention to actually how we do things as far as within ourselves, to really think about what we need to do before we can even think about coming together. And it's like they say, everything is a process, because nothing happens overnight. Just like when the first European colonists came over here, they didn't know what was going to happen. As far as creating the country we know as the United States of America, but they did whatever they had to do, and even some in the process died along the way.
Yes.
And this is the same thing with us. We're gonna have to do some things. That means we're gonna have to sacrifice certain things. Even certain things that we do and stuff like that, and how we talk to each other, we're going to have to sacrifice a lot of things when it comes to addressing each other in order for us to be able to actually unite on one common accord, to really make some things happen. We're going to have to you can't make nobody stop using drugs, drinking alcohol, stuff. That's always going to be around. You can't even make people stop committing crimes.
Yeah.
But one thing we can do is we can learn how to treat each other with civility and respect, because that carries the whole situation a long way. Because without that, there is no unity. If you ain't got respect and civility in place, there's no unity. And I noticed one trait I did notice about the Nation of Islam is how the brothers and sisters addressed each other, or addressed those that they would approach on the streets, and how they talk to each other. Because I actually never saw black people even talking to each other like that, in the manner of how the Nation of Islam would address one another or talk to other people. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I never actually saw black people talking that way. And nothing is wrong with that. And I actually think it would be a good thing for us to incorporate that type of style of approachableness toward each other, because all that, hey, what up, my nigga, or hey, what up, my B, or hey, and all this, or shorty, what's up, or all this old kind of crazy stuff. Hey, what's up, G, or what's up, OG, and this. Come on, we'll never get nowhere talking to each other like that constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And we will never, And this is why even I have a relative, every time I talk to him, I have to be mindful what I say when we talking, because if the N-words slip out of my mouth, I already know what type of response I may get. So I even have to self-check myself if it slip out my mouth, when I'm talking to him. And see, this is the type of discipline we need when we're dealing with each other. Because we are too out of order with each other. We raise our voice loud when we talk to each other. You can't even ask one of us a question without one of us getting smart or something, or saying something stupid, because they think you are trying to get in their business or something, or because they think that you are trying to. I mean, it's not that serious. It's not really even that serious, or as they would say in the streets, it's not that deep.
Mm-hmm.
To where you got to get emotional because somebody asks you a certain question. I mean, man, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, you were. It's this mentality going around where I just don't talk to anybody anyway, and no, wait a minute, and this and that and the other. First of all, we are all sick in some type of way because of racism and oppression that we've suffered under for over 400 years in this nation. We are all sick in some kind of way, mentally as well as emotionally. We are all sick in some kind of way. And see, this is where we drop the ball at and forget, So we got to understand that we have to learn how to talk to each other. If you don't want them folks calling you the N-word, then how about let's learn how to put into practice not to address each other like that.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? What you don't want them doing to us, then we need to reverse that of what we say and do to each other. You see, before you could, start hollering about what other people shouldn't do to us or say to us. It's that simple, because we talk and the way that we address each other is very horrible. Hey, what's up, hey dude, what's up? Hey, my dude, hey guy, what's happening? Hey, my man, what's up? All this kind of stuff. Like, brother, come on. I pay attention, see, and this is the thing with me. I pay attention when I see other different groups of people, how they address and cordially talk to each other when they carrying on the regular cordial conversation. You don't have all those, obscenities or disrespectful words in there, People just talk to each other straight up like they just talking from one person to another,
Mm-hmm.
They ain't coming out with all that, hey, what's up? What's happening? My dog, and all this other kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Man, I mean, really, come on. Hey, what up, though? Hey, what's happening with you? What's cracking? All this old ignorant stuff, And then some of these people tell, well, that's slang language. That's what Ebonics. Okay. But even with that, you could turn that into something more, morally, morally, you could turn that into more of a higher standard way of speaking. Because there's nothing wrong with us creating our language, and the fact that our ancestors, that was a creation of our ancestors. But you could turn that into elevating that into something than what it was when our ancestors created it.
Right.
We ain't got to keep talking and acting ignorant. You know what I'm saying? And addressing us in an ignorant manner that we address each other in. You know? You know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, somebody take it like it's disrespect or something, you know? And now you got an issue. You see what I'm saying? And then it's gonna lead from one thing to another. And we know how that go. When stuff lead from one thing to another, now somebody gotta get hurt. Now somebody gotta get shot.
Right.
Or this or that, or the third. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you know, we got to really address some things internally within ourselves if we ever want to talk about becoming united. You know, because listen, man, these New Wabians, these Israelites, I done seen it all, man. They cuss each other out, call each other the N-word, call each other bees, all this kind of stuff, you know. The 5%ers too, you know, and then the more science Temple of America brothers and sisters, you know, I mean, you should see how them brothers talk to the women in their organizations, or that's a part of their belief system. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what difference was it between you, the way you talk to the sister in the temple, or the mosque? You see what I'm saying? Then with the way you was talking to a sister on the street. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. What
is the difference? You know, so, I mean, it's like, man, yeah, it's really crazy, you know, and this is the reason why, man, I say to myself, man, you know, I don't, it's no sense in sugarcoating it. You know, I say what I say because this needs to be addressed. Because if it ain't addressed, then we gonna continue on being right where we at as a people without unity. That's what it's all gonna boil down to. And with that said, once again, I yield my mic, and I'm gonna let you take us out of here, brother. And thank you for all of those of you in the comment section in the social media stratosphere who heard me speak and who heard this, or who also heard our brother speak, and what had to be said and what was said on this platform tonight. And I hope y'all take that, you know, with a grain of salt, you know, and take it in stride. And hopefully, you know, elevate from that. And once again, I yield my mic.
Thank you again, Brother Talib, for joining me on this live stream, the first one of 2025. And I just want to say this as we close this one out on this New Year's Day. And you made a very good point that we don't know how to talk to one another. And I'm thinking about why we don't know how to talk to one another. And it goes back to this blackity black, this mindset that we get when we get a hold of these different teachings and the pro-black, these teachings, these beliefs, this scholarship. Because, you know, some of the brothers will tell you real quick, I've been studying for 35 years. I've been studying for 40 years. You can study a lot of things and can be wrong. It don't make no difference. You can do your research and your study for 100 years and could be wrong. The scientists have been calling, what's his name? I believe it's the planet Pluto, a planet. And now they saying, and this has been going on for a long time, now they're saying that Pluto is not a planet. So for decades, they've been wrong. Pluto is not a planet. So it don't make no difference how long you've been studying or researching or whatever. And then when it does come to our research and our study, we only study and research just enough to support our belief system, our ideology, what we believe. We don't really study the whole thing. We study and research just enough to support what we believe. And this, what happens is, it makes a lot of these people believe they know. I got it. So Talib can tell me nothing. Snub Nub can tell me nothing. Nobody can tell me nothing. I got it. So if they got it, what can you tell them? But if you got it, then what are you producing? What has it produced? Not producing anything. Then when you tell them that, oh, you a hater. No, I'm quoting the obvious. It's not producing anything. Then they want to get angry. I mean, on our platform, we've had all these different various people. And the reason why they're gone, because they don't know how to talk to nobody. They don't want to compromise. Because I know it all. Snub Nub can't tell me nothing. What Snub Nub talking about is a pipe dream. Okay, what we have is a pipe dream. What have they produced? Because there's thousands of them that think the way they do. What are they producing? They have not produced anything. I just had a conversation, I just had an interview with a brother, and he called me a genius for the Mississippi campaign. The same brother supported Kamala Harris. I mean, really supported Kamala Harris. Okay, you want to support Kamala Harris, do that. But why don't you put that same energy in supporting somebody that you call a genius? Who is in the same genre as you are? Kamala Harris not in the same genre as you are. Kamala Harris don't think like you do. Why is this? A lot of it goes to jealousy. Because if you lift me up, it's going to make me look bad. I can't lift Angel Snub Nub 7 bad because it's going to make Elijah Muhammad look bad if Angel Snub Nub 7 is successful. It's going to make Farrakhan look bad if Angel Snub Nub 7 is successful. Nova Joe Ali, the teachers of Nova Joe Ali. That's why I can't help you, Snub. It ain't personal. I don't want you successful. Because I've studied this for 35 years. You're going to make me look bad, make me look stupid. But the thing about it, who cares? Because the bottom line is the success of the people. What is in the best interest of the people? Do you care about the people? Do you care about yourself? This is the problem. And they are willing to let the people die because of their own pride. They don't want to feel wrong. They don't want to feel stupid. How do you think Malcolm X felt when he spent 12 years? Then he got to turn around. Well, the nation wasn't what I thought it was. How you think he felt? How you think I felt when I began to realize certain things? And I told people this and that and that. I had to turn around. But I have to do it. I have to accept that loss. I have to take that for what is in the best. Because truth is what is in the best interest. I have to suck up my own pride. There's nothing wrong with saying I was wrong. I was in error. I made a mistake. So you rather keep your people dead and in the hole because you can't accept being wrong. You can't accept another brother is right. It goes back to jealousy and envy. You rather keep your people in the grave. The same grave you talk about they need to get out of. But you haven't been able to do it. And jealous of another brother and sister that might be able to pull off what you couldn't. And who cares? Even Elijah Muhammad said, I don't give a damn as long as the job get done. But these care. Because they feel like a fool. I don't want Angel Snub 7 to be successful. But see, the thing about it is, when it's all said and done, if it was meant for me to do what I need to do, there's nothing that you can do it, whatever. You're going to be looking like a fool anyway. And you look like a fool anyway. All these suckers that come here and try to challenge this, you see what happened to them? And the big boy's not going to touch me. They know better. They already know. Thank you again, Brother Talib. Brother Denzel in the house. Got to recognize Brother Denzel Washington. I mean, Denzel Rogers. And we have another Brother Denzel Early, and Brother Tracy, and those who are in the clouds. Those friends and foes listening to this broadcast, thank you so much. It's always an honor. We are simulcasting on Facebook, our Angel Snub 7 channels. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this afternoon. I don't know when we're going to be able to come again. I don't expect to do a whole lot of talking this year. It's some other things that I would like to try. So I don't expect to do a whole lot of talking. I'll probably be uploading a lot of classics and things of this nature. If Brother Talib want to come on and say something to us, he'll probably do. I don't expect to do a whole lot of talking. My New Year's resolution is, if I can't go through the front door, I'm going to try to go through the back. I'm going to let y'all think about that. If I can't go through the front door, then I'm going to go through the back. What you think I mean by that? I guess I have to show you. Because a lot of you just can't comprehend anyway. Because you waiting to follow somebody. So you a follower. You can't comprehend what I'm talking about anyway. Thank you, Brother Talib. As our ancestor Dr. Cornelius used to always say, in parting, we wish you love, peace, and soul. Take it easy. And we are Audi 5000.